So the exams are over, and Kitai offers Rin to stay with him. And Rin accepts. And this is where Rin learns how very rich Kitai is. During her stay with Kitai, it's so lovely and just so nice. It's such a nice break from her usual moody self to have her relax, being taken care of, having her best friend there. I love it. When Rin is happy, I'm happy. And I think the only person to really bring that out is Kitai. She values Kitai more than herself, and or she's learning to value Kitai. I think this is the beginning of her really valuing Kitai as a friend and someone to lean on. And it's such a great duo, and he understands Rin, and if Rin has her moments, she has her moments. But here, like Rin with Kitai, when they're in their little vacation, she's so relaxed and so chill, and she has her mischief moments with Kitai, and it's just a lovely part of the book. It's so nice. And unfortunately, this is the only time in their life that they enjoy, the only moment they'll have together. The important part of this vacation is when Rin learns, or she just sees this shadow puppet show of the Trifecta, and the Trifecta is very well known. It's a really well known group of very powerful individuals who ruled the Nikara Empire. And as I'm listening to the story, I personally don't pay too much attention to it. I wish I did. Small details, small moments in the book that matter a lot in the future, and this is one of them. The warrior, the vipress, and the gatekeeper are such important characters, and it's good to know their story because it becomes very important later down in the series. They get back to school. Everybody does their apprenticeships. There's no, I think a funny moment is when Rin goes to get her armband to show that she is an apprentice under Master Zheng, and she's waiting so long for her band that she starts to question whether or not Zheng has changed his mind. But it's only because no one really pledges lore that they don't have an armband, so they just like give her one that is just like whatever. And there's this really cute Pinterest comic. It's so cute. And Rin is not a cute character, but this comic on I think I'm gonna show it. Hold on. I love fan art. I live for fan art. One of the things I want to do as an artist is create fan art because it's so important to readers to see characters be brought to life and not depend on these big studios to do it for them. These are just moments. There it is. It's this one. I absolutely, I love this little snippet. I wish I knew who the artist was, but on Pinterest, it's so cute. I just wanted to point that out. So I just think I love that part in the book. So she pledges, so she becomes the apprentice of the lore master, and she goes through the training, and a lot of the training involves meditation and holding still, which is not Rin's forte at all. It's funny again to have this detail of her training because it comes full circle in book 3. So she's very lousy at being this apprentice. Besides the studying, she has to also open her mind to a new reality of how the gods are and who they are. The gods live in the real world. We, the humans, are just living in their fantasy. So she kind of has to change her mindset and admit to the fact that she is not really a person. She is the fantasy of these gods. And it's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting concept. I really like. And there's a moment in this book where she actually goes to the Pantheon where all the gods are, and she is kind of blocked by this woman who appears before her with who has the same heritage look as she does, and she is warning Rin to stay away from the Phoenix God and kind of like just shoos her off to never return and don't give in to the power and the seductive things that the Phoenix can offer. Because of this, this becomes her block from actually fulfilling a contract or a bond with the Phoenix. She doesn't tell her master this. She keeps it to herself for quite a while. So they go into training, and in one of her classes, they are talking about war. And the war is with the Federation. They are starting to make threats and claims of war. And they talk about this in class. The son of the warlord, of the horse warlords, he makes a claim of blaming Naja's father, the warlord, the dragon warlord, for not helping out in the front lines at this moment because they're being under attacked, or they're waiting to be under attack, and the dragon warlord can and has enough soldiers or people to send aid, but he's not going to. Naja gets offended by it. Students were very trying to get in his good graces, but at this moment, those good graces are sort of over, and the warlord's son just he leaves the school, and we never really hear from him again until much later, which is so sad, because later we hear that the horse Providence has fallen, which I bet that means that this boy, this classmate, has fallen as well. I didn't really think too much about it until I was rereading this moment, and it's sad to know that one of her classmates, who is so young, 16, 17, to die in battle, that could have been possibly, some aid could have possibly been there. I think this is where the book is starting to get much more interesting, and it kind of launches forward now. This is a turning point for not only Naja, but for the whole story. There is warnings of other students who also want to leave the school in order to prepare for this war. So some students decide to stay, some students decide to go, but the ones who stay continue their lessons. The war does break out. So Rin and Kitai, they are off doing some work throughout the city, and that work includes helping these very wealthy and influential people get their things in order. Kitai is over it, and it's nice to see Kitai become very stern when events happen. Like, he's not a pushover at all. Kitai has a strong will. He knows right from wrong. It's nice to see Kitai in charge, and very manly, I guess. When the battle actually starts, so Sinigard is now going to be attacked. The Federation has made it to them. War is at their doorsteps. Rin is freaking out, as she should be. I like when characters are realistic when facing war and battle and fighting, because it's, even though you're trained for it, Rin has still been sheltered. She never had to worry about being in an actual battlefield until this very moment. She's trained in fighting, but it's different when you're in a physical war, in a battlefield. So for her to freak out is very appreciated. I was freaking out with her, and it's surprising to see Kitai, the one being more in control, and it's like, it's almost like the switcheroo. I would think Kitai would be the one freaking out, and Rin being the one who's more stoic, but it's the opposite. Kitai is like, okay, let's do this. He actually engineered a few traps, which again, I love Kitai so much. He's such a cute kid. There are moments where he just really steps up to the plate. So war breaks out. She starts fighting, and she thankfully is keeping up. Kitai, she loses sight of Kitai, so they're separated. she hears a signal for everybody to head to another gate or another part of the school. The dread I feel in this whole situation is so strong. It's so hard to get, it's so hard to kind of just I just feel like this dread when I'm reading this part, because Rin is describing that this other portion of the school is has fallen. She sees her dead classmate. The way she describes how we were just a distraction. It was so sad to see and listen to this moment, and to hear and to see her classmates fall. So during this part, she is continue fighting, and she gets distracted because she sees one of her good friends dead. And who comes to the rescue? Surprisingly, Naja. He comes to the rescue and he saves her. It's very interesting, this part, this moment, because he doesn't have to save her. He doesn't have, his life would have been a lot easier without Rin. Especially if you read book 2. His life doesn't need her in it, but he decides to save her regardless. I think he saves her because he respects her. And it's really interesting. Wow. It's like a wow moment for me, because he didn't have to save her, but he did. He did save her. And they fight together, and they fight excellent. They fight like two peas in a pod. They know each other so well in their fighting styles. They have studied each other so much that they fight so good that the general or commander has to step forward and wonder why the heck his men have not moved forward, only to see two kids holding the front. And this is where things go down the drain. They are about to be killed by this general, and they hold each other hands so they will go down together. It's this moment of solidarity. It's so nice to see, because they just despise each other, and to have a moment turn to respect, it's an admirable moment for me to listen to. Before they go down, the lore master pops up, and in a way, he pops up for Rin. He pops up to save her, and he shows who he is, and he is the gatekeeper, the one who is able to summon horrible things from the other side, from this other dimension, which he does so in this moment, and he does it for Rin. He does it to save her, and and it's just like another curiosity. It's in another wow moment to see how much Rin has gone from this very poverty character now turning into something that people respect. Young is unsuccessful in saving Rin, so he throws Rin at the wall, and he goes to town with poor Naja. I feel so bad for him, and to listen to his screams would kill me. And Rin, this is her moment. She takes the poppy seeds, and is able to transform into the phoenix. She is unstoppable from this for a moment of time. She loses consciousness and wakes up in the fighting pits.